A discussion coming out of members of the Bus Association about two pieces of legislation that were passed in the Senate or taken through stages in the Senate last week, Tuesday. And these are the road traffic bill and the tax administration bill. So what the road traffic bill does is establishes the Transport Commission, which replaces what used to be the Transport Board. And the tax administration bill, we will go through the tax administration bill, but both pieces of legislation seem to be causing a stir among members of the various bus associations. Garth, I'm starting with you. And in a short 30 seconds, if you could, tell us what your major complaints are.
All right, good night again, Odette. All complaints are just suggestions that we would have made to government, which is to have representatives on the Grenada Transport Commission, which is the new statute, corporate statute that has been formed by government to manage transport, both public, private, commercial, and so on. That was our main concern. Secondly, we had asked for the final copy of the bill to be sent us before it was tabled in Parliament, and that was not done as well. So those were the two things that we requested. Right.
So let's go to Roger. Roger, you are the Public Relations Officer of the Grandlands Buses Association. What are your thoughts, your association's thoughts, on the two pieces of legislation?
Odette, one of the things that concerns greatly is the lack of representation on the new commission, the Transport Commission. Given that the Transport Board, before it was cancelled, we used to have a representation there, and at present there is no room on the new commission for any representation. So that's one of the major talking points on the Grandlands route.
All right, so Laurie, and let's hear you being the advisor. You have scrutinized, I suppose, both pieces of legislation, and you are advising your members. From what perspective?
Well, we have been, good night again. We have been, we've seen changes in the transport system over the years where, there was once a time when government basically had a transport system in operation, and that fell through for whatever reason. And then, low-income people, you could say grassroots people, took up the initiative to buy buses and make it a daily life for their families and for everybody. And now we're in a situation where, as a matter of fact, over the years, our voices were not really heard. And, we have come to the point where, as they say, when a pothole gets backed up in a corner, he would fight back, because we've seen the disrespect that has been given to us over the years. And, we've come to a place where we say, this is something that needs to be taken care of. We want to be included. We want to be able to have a voice, to have a say. And so, we've taken that initiative to spread it out to the communities, let Grenadians know that it is about time that we are seen and respected for the service that we provide.
But you guys are seen and respected for the service you provide. The government has emphasized the various ways in which it has collaborated with the association over the years, and in recent times, dealing with, providing sanitation supplies and other measures that they have taken, looking at giving relief to the tax that you pay going in and out of the terminal, various places. Let's pretend, and don't start sniping at me, let's pretend that I am the government. And I will tell you, this Transport Commission is mine. You can't tell me who to put on my commission. Let's say that's the approach the government is taking.
Okay, and that's a perfectly fine approach, all right? which is what prompted our approach. Now, we have the assets in which you want to control to provide the public transportation in which you were supposed to be providing. All right, we have more than enough buses, approximately 1,400. All right, we have drivers, conductors, the amount of jobs and stuff that we provide, and our input into the economy with gas, parts, oils, and so on, and plus also the economical impact that you have and to move Grenadians to get to their jobs and back. So we play a very important role in providing the service and keeping Grenada moving. So it is only fair, as just like in other authorities and so on, the persons who they are regulating are, let's say like the seamen and so on, they are on their board. So we want to be on our board so we can give them ideas, because what we have seen over the last couple of years through the management of the Transportation Board, it hasn't worked. All right, we have overpopulation of routes and undersaturation of routes and so on. So there's a lot of work to be done, and we have collaborated with government in the past and recently as well. But those are all initiatives where we communicate and we work together to try to bring a better service, in which we do. But we have to get to a stage where there's a formalized way of communicating and actually making serious commitments from both the NBA and the government's side to provide an effective transportation service, and also keep in mind, right, that we own the buses. It's owned by private Grenadians, so we have to look at their sustainability, the sustainability of the business for the members in there as well.
But Laurie, you mentioned that there was a time when the association had representation on the board. What happened?
Well, it wasn't me that mentioned that. It was Roger.
Oh, sorry. Roger, I'm stealing your thunder. I'm sorry, passing it on to Laurie.
Odette, the person who was on the board died some years ago. And the SRO clearly states that there should be representative from the National Bus Association on the National Transportation Board. All right, the Transportation Board was dissolved to give way for the new commission, all right, the Transportation Commission. With that being said, the guy, Anthony George, he died some years ago, and we've made several requests to have someone replace him, and we have had no luck. We are the main stakeholders in the bus industry. And if we can't have a representative, then we are left out. Decisions are being made, and we does not know exactly how it's going to affect us, in what way, who is coming and who is not coming, so it puts us in a difficult position not having a representative. The commission is made up, or will be made up of, representative from the Commissioner of Police or his representative, insurance, a lawyer, and from the government side. That similar makeup is what the Transportation Board was comprised of. The police, insurance rep, government side, but there was that inclusion of, or there was a space for the National Bus Association. So going forward, we now notice that there's no space, no room allocated for the National Bus Association. And we think that that should not be. We seriously asking for some reconciliation to that. And as you said, is their commission, and they choose to put who they want, but we figure and we know that we are the main stakeholders. We invest millions into that industry. The government makes millions from that industry. We could go down to the nitty-gritty. Just take 1,400 buses, and each one of the buses will pay $5.50 in fuel each time we fill up, and we fill up every night. you're looking at least 10 gallons of gas per bus. So you multiply 10 gallons at 550 per bus, what, 1,400 buses, the government on a daily basis ordered. So we pumping that kind of money into the country, into the economy. I think it's totally fair that we are given a decent hearing, that our plight is being considered, and the kind of respect that we deserve should be given to us. Okay, Odette?
What have you done? Take us through probably the last 5 years. What steps have you taken? Have you sat down with the ministry? Have you written letters? What kind of advances have you made, and why are you not making progress, you think?
Okay.
All right, Gat.
Well, that was for Roger.
Yeah,
No,
let
go
me
ahead,
hear
Gat.
Roger, and then Gat, I'll come to you. Roger,
All
you
right.
want to toss the Gat? It's totally up to you guys.
Odette, over the past 5 years, the National Bus Association has been dormant. Sorry. That is this year? This year it came back into effect fully?
Yeah, this year.
Right. Odette, I just liaison with that for the confirmation. I don't want to mislead the public, right? So it has been dormant, but we've had active individual associations. Grenville is one, Grandance is another, and Angelou, just to name a few, right? So it's not like we could not have a representative from amongst the active guys, or active associations, and try to get the other associations up and running. As a matter of fact, it has been the consensus to have one association representing all the associations with just a membership, right? So instead of having Grandance, Bus Owners Association, and Grenville and St. David's, it was a suggestion to have just one association, which it will be the National Association and representing the zones. So it would not be Grandance Bus Association. It will be representing Zone 1, 2, 3, up to Zone 10, which was Carrickwood. But that did not materialize. So kudos to GAT and the National Bus Association. They revamped and had elections and so on, and so they're back up and running. All right. So now, being functional, we're making the claim. Yeah, we're making the claim that we should have the proper representative on not the transport board this time, but the new commission, transport commission.
So, guys, I know you wanted to chime in here, and I'm a little bit distracted because the news junkie in me, I've just heard that there is some incident at Paraclete in St. Andrew, which doesn't paint a rosy picture, but our news team is following up on that, and we'll see what happens there. Garth, sorry about that. It's just the news junkie in me.
problem.
Let's go back to you, Garth.
No problem.
So you wanted to chime in on that point.
Right. Just to go over a few steps of what has been made in terms of progress over the last few years. We've heard many
Campbell,
calls from public to busmen need to unite, busmen need to come together. And in 2014, I remember that was very early, myself and a guy named Code Bruno, we went to have a meeting with the transport board. And that was the advice that was given to us at the time. This is basically 6 years ago. So we started sparking up the different associations. All right, Roger Telesford is a former president of the Grandance Bus Owners Association. And we started having meetings and so on from there for Grandance. And then also Grenville was doing theirs as well. So we've seen the development has been slow. This has been in the making. Myself and Roger and other members on Grandance side, we would have had many meetings as well with government in between those times where we voiced some of the same concerns that we are voicing today, especially the part of being on the transport board, because at that point, right? We were seeing many, many buses, sometimes 10, 15 buses being added to Grand Anse route every month, all right? And we're at the point where Grand Anse has 303 buses. Grand Anse is only 5 miles, right? So while it is considered the south and is very busy, 303 buses, and you look at the infrastructure that's available for these buses and stuff, it really doesn't work. So we have been voicing those concerns in meetings with traffic department, in meetings with the ministry. So we have been speaking out. It's just at this point now, COVID happened, and we opened up the association for members to join in free and so on, and they all became a part of it. And hence we formed back the official body for the National Bus Association.
Okay, great. So what we have done is we have taken snippets out of the 2 pieces of legislation that seem to be causing you guys some discomfort, and we have compiled it into a PowerPoint presentation. We only have 4 slides, and we also want to go back to comments made in the Senate last week with regards to the Tax Administration Amendment Bill. But before we delve into both, we want to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back. This is Beyond the Headlines. This evening we're having a transportation forum. We'll be opening up the phone lines very soon so that you can have dialogue with members of the association regarding your concerns as well. Stay with us, please.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grand Anse, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
What makes a strong team? Supporting each other, sharing successes and disappointments, learning from one another. Get a Be Better health plan from Beacon and get simple and affordable medical benefits so you can build a better team. Call 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt for more information.
Rubis is giving you more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. This evening we're having a transportation forum. We're speaking with members of the National Bus Association, including the Grand Anse Bus Association, and we have an advisor to the association. Members of the association are not happy about the fact that two pieces of legislation went before Parliament last week, and they think that there are various things in there that could impact their operations, and they are seeking to address this evening, and they'd also be fielding your questions from members of the public. As we say, members of the public, we want to thank all of you who are viewing us in Grenada, Carriacou, Martinique, and across the Caribbean region and across the world. Anesta, Frank, we see you there in Canada online. We want to say good night to Dumbo Ross out of the UK, and we also have Cleveland Sam out of Barbados who are viewing. We're just singling out a couple of our viewers. We just want to say good night, and it's great to have you with us this evening. Let's go back to the issue of the composition of the board, and we did reference the fact that we pulled snippets from the road traffic bill, and we do have a PowerPoint slide that lists the members of the commission, and we note that it's being transitioning over from the transport board to the transport commission. So let's look at that at this time. So the membership, the Commissioner of Police shall, or his designate shall have a representative, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Transport, a senior representative of the ministry with responsibility for road infrastructure, 4 persons with knowledge and experience in appropriate disciplines, including policy, management of transport, the insurance, and law. So, Garth and others, I take it that you're saying that there should be room for the bus associations in there. Producer, we've lost our panelists.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Let me just tell Roger, you seem to have slumped a little bit, so you need to adjust your device. No, that's not Roger, that's Laurie. Laurie, you're slipping in the chair, or the device has...
Oh. My device is great. It's showing that I'm
sit up a little bit, we'll fix that.
I'm not sure why you're seeing me slumped.
I don't know. You had to fix it. Tilt the device.
Larry, a bit to the bottom of the screen.
Yes, tilt the device.
And it shouldn't be because on my device, more than my chest is showing.
Fix it up, fix it up. Tilt it, let's see. Remember how we did at the start of the program? Right. Go one more. Cool. Keep it locked, keep it tight, keep it just like that. Okay. Right. Good boy. So who is taking the point about the fact that you have all of these people represented, and you saying somewhere in there, based on what we just saw in the outline of the legislation, that there should be room?
Yes, there definitely should be room there for us, as there is room on other boards for stakeholders who are involved in the who would have direct impact from the decisions that would be making from this commission.
Laurie, let me ask you a question, and I always refer to my father. May his soul rest in peace. My father said, I'm asking a genuine question. He never said genuine. So I'm asking you a genuine question. Do you think that quote-unquote busmen are being excluded because you all are seen as a group of ill-disciplined people who have no behavior?
I wouldn't go into that zone.
As a certain body
Because
say, don't go there.
then I would be putting words in the mouths of the ministry, in the people who are in government, and I don't think I have the liberty to do so.
Because they're trying to understand why, and I'm not understanding why. So probably have to search.
But Odette, just to clarify that, just to chime in there, the persons and what we said exactly was not to have busmen on the board, on the commission, when they had brought up and said this was a conflict of interest, and in compromising, right, based on the relationship that we would have developed over the last couple of months, we compromised and we said, okay, conflict of interest, you're fine. Okay, we'll have somebody else who is not a bus operator, who doesn't own any bus, be a part of it. Let us advise on who we would want there as well, because we've seen we don't have accurate statistics when it comes to transportation here. And bus operators, some people did not even know how many rows in a bus. All right, some people never took bus. So you can't have people who do not know anything about bus operations. It's a unique process in Grenada, I must say, right? And you can't have persons who do not know about it manage it. You need to have somebody with that experience who has been there, or who knows people, or who are able to come, have an audience, and we can air our views and channel up our views through that person as well. So the options were there. And when we just went silent. In fact, I had sent an email before the Parliament sitting, asking for a follow-up on the request we had made. All right. I don't remember getting a response. All right. All we saw, Parliament was sitting and they brought it forward. So I don't understand what is the rush here.
So, okay. All right. We see that the government has advanced a reason why you should not be present. Roger, conflict of interest. And if I'm the government, probably I'm seeing it, because you will come and represent your interests, Roger.
So, Odette, the suggestion going forward is we could have a representative in the form of a professional, for example, a lawyer, someone who does not have any interest in bus, represent the bus association. He does not have any interest in bus, but we hired him on our behalf, to represent us on that committee. And that's our suggestion. That have been our suggestion going. That has been since the Minister Gregory Boeing said it would have been a conflict of interest to have a bus operator representing bus on the new commission, on the bus commission. Transport commission. We suggested that we can have a professional representing the bus association, and not necessarily an operator or someone who has a bus, but we still seek representation through some private individual. Yeah, what?
Right. So thank you very much, and that's why I love Beyond the Headlines. We were making headlines, a lot of the fuss and the complaints. No, I got the answer. The government is saying that it is a conflict of interest to have a bus operator on the commission. You are saying that, okay, it's not going to be a bus operator. Let's have somebody who we select. Yeah, Laurie, right. You want to chime in on this point, because I want us to move on to the tax administration amendment bill. Laurie, I see you smiling broadly.
Yes? You want to say something?
No, don't be tossing to God. Don't try to shut according to my father. Let's go with you, Laurie. Your point here. You are the advisor.
Mm-hmm. So this is a situation where, we are looking at it from the stakeholder point of view. We are the ones who have been providing the service to the public for a number of years. I mean, if you check back to when we had what was known as the PTS and NTS, to what is present day bus operations, you would have seen, if you can do a tally, and you would notice that the amount of money that has been invested into the transportation business from a private point of view, from our point of view, is enough for us to have a voice.
All right.
So from that end, basically, you know, we want to be included. I mean, look, and the point that you raised about busmen being, you know, disagreeable, or I can't remember all of the points that you raised pertaining to that. You know, it's like we want to change the narrative. You know, we've been looked at as scourge for much too long, and we want to change that. And listen, we have done so much for our public. We've done stuff that we haven't even blown any trumpets about. And so this is one of the reasons why, you know, we need to have a voice.
Got you. All right, so gentlemen, let's cross over. I think we have exhausted this subject. Another piece of legislation.
Could you give me a few seconds on that before we just cross over?
Definitely, go ahead.
Odette, you notice that they would have carried over all the members from the Transport Board to the Commission, Odette, including, excluding the representative of the Bus Association, right? Isn't that some conflict of interest where you have a new commission, but you still have all your players from the Transport Board now making up the commission? Isn't something wrong there that you see it fit
just to add on to that?
Go ahead, God.
Go ahead, God.
Yeah, I was just saying, just to add on to that, in terms of conflict of interest, remember this authority, this commission will be dealing with commercial, public transport, private transport, so the private vehicles as well. But I'm sure the persons on the board, they have their private vehicles, so are they going to be regulating themselves?
All right, and I just love this question. Just leave that question mark hanging right there, right? And let's do a crossover. Let's cross over to the Tax Administration Amendment Bill of 2020. And we do have a couple of slides where we captured some of the salient points, and I'd like to just use those two so that we stay within frame. Let's take those two slides first, and then we will engage in discussion. So the tax administration arrangement of clauses, it had the short title, and commencement, it had the amendment to Section 12 of the Principal Act, the amendment to Division 2 of Part 9 of the Principal Act, and the insertion of a new Schedule 3 to the Principal Act. So let me just ask the producer to assist us with loading those two slides where we captured some snippets out of the Tax Administration Amendment Bill. Producer, can you help us here? Yes, that's slide 1. So we have the penalty addressed therein, and I believe that is one of the issues that you guys are concerned about. And let me just see slide 2. Slide 2 deals with the procedures, and if there's a penalty, what the procedures are. So, Garth, let me hear you on this subject. What is your concern here?
Our concern was basically what we said yesterday. We had a press conference where we read through, and we had asked to have a lawyer present to explain, right, what this means to operators and business people alike, all right, because we do have busmen who are registered small business, all right. So I would say, you know, let us have a lawyer, and you know, let's get 2 lawyers here, and let's come back on the program and see how we can trash this out, if you ask me, because I mean, looking at it here, if you read the penalty notice, it basically just says where an authorized officer reasonably believes that a person has committed a fixed penalty offense. We have, what are the fixed penalty offenses? It has not been listed here. And what do we know as fixed penalty offenses? So it piqued the interest of the members, and they brought this forward to us, so we channeled it out. All right?
Yeah, but God, if in fairness, right, I have the legislation with me and we did capture some pieces, right? So I'm on page 4. And page 4 is talking about the fixed penalty offenses. Division 2 is speaking about the notices. And the contents of a fixed penalty notice, it goes along to deal with the procedures. And then it lists what some of the issues are. And so failure to register and display a registration certificate, failure to notify of changes in taxpayer information. It deals with negligent or fraudulent underpayment, false or misleading statements, falsification of invoices, receipts, credits, and debit notices, as well as, let's see, that is page 8. On page 9 is a carryover detailing the quantum to be paid, and failure to maintain documents, failure to comply with third-party notices, that is on page 10. And if I can go to page 11, which is a continuation of section 8368, failure to provide facilities, and that is facilities for somebody trying from the Ministry of Finance, for instance, to come and inspect books. Failure to comply with notice to give information, and that is if they're asking you about information about taxes that you should be paid. So this is a tax administration bill. Why do bus operators think that this is targeting them?
That's exactly why I said we should have a lawyer on board to go through this bill. All right. We only brought forward the concerns that our members had. So we brought it, we did that, and we are trying to get legal advice right now as well to shed some light or explain further details on this particular bill.
But Laurie, on Friday, members of the association spoke with members of the media. They spoke with GBN, and they raised the concern that fixed penalties could end up being on your criminal record. What is the source of this contention? Somebody's gone mute on me. Roger, you're smiling.
Right, Odette,
Go ahead.
Odette. That would have been from a clipping that when Mr. Galway did his presentation Tuesday in Parliament. That's where the whole thing came, and it's packed, right? It's packed everything that went on up to this present stage. All right, so what we went ahead to do was to seek legal representation, as Kat rightfully said. All right, so Mr. Galway's presentation in the Senate on Tuesday, right, is what really sparked the discussion and really brought about some uneasiness among members. If you get Mr. Galway's clipping, as it relates to the fixed penalties and so on, you would understand what we are speaking about. But so as it relates to the bill,
here's what, Roger.
We definitely need legal representation dealing with the bill going forward.
Roger, so hear this. I actually have Mr. Galway's clipping. So let me ask the producer to bring it up. We'll listen to it. We'll take a commercial break and we'll come back on the other side of the commercial break to discuss. So let's listen to it. Mr. Producer.
There's about 3 clippings, 2, 4, 6, somewhere around 8 or so.
You worried that I get a wrong one, Roger? You worried that won't help your case? Let's play it and see. Let's listen now.
Okay.
Producer, help us, please. Thanks.
Three, to formally establish that non-compliance under Section 77 to 85 in Division 2 of Part 9 constitute the specified criminal offense, which attract the specified maximum penalties and the specified fixed penalties for persons who wish to accept guilt and pay the fixed penalties instead of challenging the charge before the courts. See, Mr. President, while we have under consideration 3 pieces of legislation that this fixed penalty ticketing system will cover. And as we saw in 75, section 75 to 85 in division 2 of part 9, that constitute a specified criminal offense and specified fixed penalties for persons who wish to accept guilt and pay the fixed penalties instead of challenging the matter before court. But what is apparent, Mr. President, while this was stated, the Principal Act failed to formally establish the criminal offense. So what we seek to do today is to establish the criminal offense. And if an offender failed to pay the prescribed fixed penalty within the prescribed time, it gives rise to the criminal prosecution for the offense. So, if a fixed penalty has been issued on a business, a body corporate, and he accepts his wrongdoing, maybe a mistake, an omission, but he admits guilt, has 31 days to pay the fine, and that's the end of the matter. But if he chooses not to, Mr. President, or if he has agreed to pay it, but somehow forgot to pay it,
So that was an excerpt from the Senate on Tuesday. Let me just go quickly back to Garth. Garth, we want to take that commercial break, but in 30 seconds, you have a concern about what about that?
Okay, that wasn't the entire clip. I myself, I think I looked at somewhere lower down in the clip. I can always forward it to you. But as I said, in regards to this part of it, we are not lawyers. We operate our buses. So hence, in the legal aspect of it, we would have to definitely seek to get some legal clarification on what this means and if this will affect bus operators. Because from what our members are stating, this will affect them. So we brought the message forward again.
All right, great. This is Beyond the Headlines. We are having a transportation forum this evening. We're dealing with members of the National Bus Association. We have a representative from the Grandlands Bus Association as well, together with one of their advisors. And we'll be back after this commercial break. You can call in, you can send your comments on social media. We will raise these with members of the association. Do stay with us.
With just $2, you can gift yourself with a chance to win the Lotto jackpot. Now, imagine winning the National Lotteries Authority jackpot of $50,000. Why pass upon this winning opportunity? Lotto, play and win a lot of money.
A pleasant evening to everyone. Welcome to the National Lotteries Authority's Lotto draw number 3140 for today, Monday, November 16th, 2020. I am Anisha Charles. With me this evening is Ms. Jocelyn Clark from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this draw is conducted in an accountable manner, with the game balls with industry standards and in a way tampered with. At this time, you should have tickets at hand because we're about to play for a jackpot of $50,000. But first, your free ticket letter. Good luck. Free ticket letter for this evening is check your tickets. This evening's free ticket letter is a J as in jackpot. Let's proceed for 5 winning numbers. Good luck. First number this evening is check your tickets in the meantime. First number up is 9. Second number is 25. Third number up. Third number is 1, followed by 19, fifth and final number. Final number is 4. let's recap those numbers. Check your tickets. First number up is 9, the second 25, third 1, followed by 19, fifth and final is 4. So that's 099 25 25, 011 1919 and 044. Your free ticket letter for this evening is a J as in jackpot. Congratulations to all the winners of this evening's Lotto draw. Lotto, play and win a lot. When you play all the games of the National Lotteries Authority, support sports, culture and the nation building. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Tick, tock, toe. I win.
Feel like a big kid again when you play NLA's new scratch game, Tic-Tac-Toe. It's instant cash on the go. Reveal 3 X's or 3 O's in the same row, column or diagonally, and win the prizes shown, or as much as $5,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play. Tic-Tac-Toe, please.
Give me a tic-tac-toe, please. Tic-tac-toe, please.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
Rubis is giving you more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. This evening we have our Transportation Forum, and we have a caller on the line who has been waiting most through the commercial break. We go straight to our caller this evening. Caller, you are live on GBN Television, K105 Radio, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook platform.
Good. Yeah, good night. Good night. Yeah, good night.
All right, so we may have to get back to that caller because we are not hearing what the caller is saying. So let me ask, Laurie, is there a fare that the fixed penalty, are you juxtaposing it to or equating it to when you get a ticket? And you worry that if members get a ticket, they don't pay the ticket on time, they then have a criminal record against them? Is that the grassroots fare there? Okay, so you need to unmute your microphones again, gentlemen.
Because
go ahead. Right.
Right. So there is a fear that is the case, because as we've said earlier on, we are not lawyers. We have been working our transportation for X amount of years, and you know, some of the things that we're seeing happening now, like the bill is a broad bill. It doesn't give you definitive stuff. And so we need legal representation to figure out what it means for us. So when and at the end of the clip, you didn't finish everything. There's a part where Mr. Garari was alluding to, even if after 11 days, remember when he said, if you forget to pay the ticket, he said, if after 11 days you come to pay the ticket, if you have forgotten it, it seems as though, you know, the administrator's memories are better than ours. But if you come after 11 days, it would not be accepted.
Okay. We have another caller on the line. Caller, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Madam Host. First of all, I'd like to say good night to your panelists. And
good night, sir.
Good night, program
sir.
Tonight. I just have three quick questions that I would like to ask. Firstly, the Senator's debate from Minister Garvey. I think there was a lack of education in terms of educating the public. And the reason why you see a lot of the misinformation in terms of the tax bill is becoming a problem for both the operators and also the public, that they should be paying attention to that also, because there's a lot of amendments that is there to come. And we all know that when you're asleep, a lot can be happening, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I will encourage you guys to at least get the legal mind and also invite maybe the Attorney General on a one-on-one program with the association to trash it out, because that's the only way we're going to go forward, is by educating the public so we understand what is their plan going forward with the new commission and also in fixing the tax amendment bills. Educate the others, because some people just slip in and everything just happening. Now, I want to move back to the conflict of interest in terms of the representation on the board. Now, in the Speaker of the House, Minister Cox said that they will be transferring a lot of members or the assets, the workforce from the previous board, which from here we see that it was a failure before. So now you're moving all goods into a new commission and leaving out the main stakeholder. Now they are trying to justify that conflict of interest. The insurance companies are there to seek their interest. Buses are the highest risk in terms of on the road, and they pay coverage based on that, from $10,000 to $17,000 for a new bus. So isn't that conflict of interest by making sure that you have a member for the insurance? Okay, that's just one of the issue I want to, the guys, maybe they could explain on most of the other bodies that is on the board. Don't they have a part to play in conflict of interest also? And lastly, the minister said that the previous board, right, the transport board, was dissolved, right? Now, in his debate, they keep saying that the traffic wardens, for instance, is under the transport board. So presently, you dissolve a board of the transport, Grenada Transport Board that governs the traffic wardens. So presently speaking, who is in charge of those traffic wardens? When there isn't a commission in place and the board was dissolved, we're in the middle of nowhere. And yet for all, you want to leave out the persons who have the most to lose. All right? So guys, stay strong. I hope we can get some answers and we can have some more programs like this to educate the Grenadian public, because this is the traffic amendment, the new traffic bill for the commission, which deals with private transport also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anybody wanted to chime in on the presentation made by the caller?
Odette, I just want to ask a question or make a input, and maybe not exactly to the caller, but pertaining to who. All right. The bill speaks to if a corporate does not pay a fine, right? So it means that a corporate citizen, corporation could become a criminal for not paying, or if you didn't pay and you go to contest the bill, or contest the charge in court, they could become a criminal. I'm not talking about bus here because what the law speaks of, it did specify certain people within the framework who, if they does not adhere to certain aspects of the bill, if they challenge it and they lose, they could have a criminal record against them. That does not sit well not only with the busmen, but definitely you also targeting to make the corporate people criminals. I just noticed a comment on your Facebook page, so I just thought I should have raised that. The guy did ask if he has a company and did not pay and contest it and lose, if his company is going to become that his company, yes, is going to be affected and be tinted as a criminal. Yeah, because for whatever reason he did not pay, take the matter to court, loses, and as a result, he has that criminal charge over his head. I think it's definitely bigger than even the bossmen who are looking at it, and what even the little aspect that we got, the little bit that we got, and started making noise over it, is enough to have the commission, probably the Ministry of Works, the government team, legal affairs, to look into it. It's not sitting, as I said, it's not sitting well with the bus operators. As Laurie said, the clip went on to make other pronouncement by Mr. Galway. And so, not wanting to take up all the time for the discussion, but it's something that I believe we should really look into with the legal minds, with the legal mind.
Right. So we have another caller, but quickly, somebody on Facebook is saying a person has a right to challenge his issues without duress and fear that what began as a relatively minor offense will vindictively morph into a life-changing result. That's extortion. Another person, if one challenges a fixed fine and loses, he earns a criminal record? Question mark. Another person says the amendment gives 31 days, subject to correction, to pay the fine, and an additional 11 after which the court will not accept it, even if forgetting is used as a justification. And somebody is saying, my question is why busmen can't have two representatives on the board, seeing that they're the ones providing the service to the nation in which the government failed to provide for the nation daily. And another person is saying those amendments to the Tax Act will affect the private sector. How many consultations were held to discuss them? We have several comments here, but we'll go over to the phone lines. Caller, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, please.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
I want to make, I want to say to the busmen, although I know they are the own enemy, but nevertheless, I think they struggle, they need to keep it up, because I cannot see why are we saying that the busman is conflict of interest. We have situations where the police have their own situation and they have their own investigation. Isn't that conflict of interest? The other thing I want to say is, if you're going to charge a man, and because he challenged the ticket and he goes to court and he loses, that makes him a criminal. But if he pays, he's not a criminal. I believe a criminal is a criminal if he goes to jail and he serves time. When he come back, he have a criminal record on his book. When he goes for his police record, he will get that. But don't tell me because I pay, I am not a criminal. And when I don't pay, I am a criminal. I think that is very much unfair.
Well said, and thank you so much, caller. And continuing, one person is saying, I think this might be a form of income generating, is an income generating mechanism. Another person says, when coming to dealing with this government, why the busmen don't have a lawyer representing them after the COVID money issues? One person is saying as well, this is one of the reasons I do not support the suspending of the standing orders to pass a bill into law in one sitting. The public needs to be educated and given input onto the laws which will affect them, and that is us. And so one person is saying, I think this might be a form of income generating mechanism, and another person is responding and saying, at the expense of the bus drivers? Question mark. Gentlemen, quite a mouthful. All right, so you need to unmute your microphone, God. You're talking, but we're not hearing you. Go ahead.
I'm unmuted. Are you hearing me?
Yes, hearing you now.
Yeah, I was saying it cannot be at the expense of bus operators. We have gone through too much. About a month and a half ago, we were just able to carry back our full capacity. We've tried rotation. We've tried many different initiatives to survive. And a move like this, you cannot ask us for more right now.
But God, somebody mentioned, a caller said, although the bus drivers are their own worst enemies. So why would somebody have 10 tickets pending? Why not obey the rules?
Can I answer that? Can I jump in here?
Jump right in, my friend.
Okay. Jump in.
No, this is broader. This is much broader than one person would think. Because this is systematic. Over the years, now we have one major problem on Grand Anse route, which is oversaturation. Now, there was, even in the era of Mr. Anthony George, better known as Big G, I remember him going to sit-ins with officials and asking that they would have a stick in the amount of buses that they allow on the Grand Anse Road. It seems as though Grand Anse Road is a free-for-all, because buses will transfer from one route and come into Grand Anse. And we've seen that happening over the past few years. And for some strange reason, you know, when Mr. George went to them, one of their reasons was they cannot stop a man from walking. You cannot stop, you know. So it's like stickers are just given to any and anybody to come on the route. And we have been asking to give us some level of control so that we can, because we know the everyday run-ins. We see what is happening on a daily basis. And so when you have a route that is oversaturated, and instead of having 5 buses to 1 bus, you have 5 buses to 1 person, it's obvious that there are things that are going to happen which the public would look at us in a different light. And that is what has been happening over the years.
But
you know?
let me ask you, for instance, right? Something that people note and is glaring on the Grand Anse bus route. So let's just take the bus stop by Sugar Mill roundabout. You're coming back to town, right? So you have a bus stop, right? And the bus stop is like, let's say it's 5 feet long. You're going to stop at the back of the line. When I say that, so this is the line and the last bus should fit here. Why not go to the top? The police always has to be stopping the drivers and telling them, listen, go forward. Inch up, what?
I just mentioned, instead of having 5 person to 1 bus, you have 5 bus to 1 person.
Yeah,
no, this is a big problem for us.
Whose fault is that?
No. Hello?
Go ahead.
Right. So when you don't have the amount of passenger flow that is able to sustain the population of buses that we have, then it's almost like a fight to survive. And that is what has been happening over the years. We've been asking for a decrease in the amount of buses coming on particular routes, because there are particular routes, like St. David's even. St. David's is a route that has a lot of buses as well, over 200 and something buses. And if you keep packing buses, yes, a man has a right to walk. And if a man decides to go and buy a bus, and come on a route, based on what is written in the law, it states that you cannot prevent a person from coming on a particular route. But there's the sticker system, and if it was under a better controlled management, it would have given a deterrent for some people who just wants to get into the industry. Because I mean, it might sound as though I'm against people, making an income, and that is not so. Because let's take this for instance. We have a tendency where if one man is selling apples and he's making money, everybody wants to go into apples. But what is going to happen over a period of time is, if 16 people, as opposed to 2 people, sells apples, you would find that 2 people would have made 500, 16 people are going to make 50 cents. So it has to be regulated.
All right. So there's need for regulation, and just as you are getting comfortable, unfortunately, we are out of time. We only have like 2 minutes to 10 o'clock, and we normally give everybody a shot at a closing comment. But let me just quickly scan through some comments here. Isn't it conflict of interest with the policemen that have their jobs and buying buses? I heard earlier that there were 303 buses on the Grandans route. I tried to imagine them lined out. That's a long line. That's a dog-eat-dog world. And somebody else is saying it is a fight to survive in Grandans. Buses staying to the back of the bus stop is also in an effort to get a passenger first. Gentlemen, this is looking as though we go in crescendo. When I thought we should be winding down, we're just hitting a high note. But unfortunately, we are out of time. So I'm going to give everybody 10 seconds. That's all you have. We have to wrap this up at 10 o'clock. So, Garth, I'm starting with you. 10 seconds to wrap up. What are your closing thoughts this evening?
All right. There's a lot to be discussed. It's years and years upon issues that we have. All right. And it is now time for us to set the transportation system up in a proper way where we have a say, so we can manage ourselves and fix a lot of the issues that would have been created, not by us only, all right, but by failure to manage the transportation system effectively, all right? So we must have, it is now time to shift gear, all right, and take a new course where busmen would actually be making decisions as to how they will move forward and secure a financial future for themselves and provide a proper transportation system to the public.
All right, Roger, your closing thoughts in 10 seconds.
Odette, I want to thank you for the opportunity. It was indeed a pleasure. And as one person on your chat would have mentioned, we need to go back to the days when we have public input into making the bills, not just having it rush, because there are things that a lot of people could have made greater input into, and it's like they just had no consideration for the other road users, the other transportation suppliers. We have taxi, truck, private, it's not just the buses. So we have to, going forward, I think, involving the greater public will be the best thing. Thank you.
All right, and Lincoln, Deputy North of Toronto, is saying that's the nature of a capitalist society, free market. And the closing word we have tonight comes from Larry. Larry seemed to have... What I
would like to say is, we are not the enemies, and we never were. We are all Grenadians, and we want to have a fair share of the pie. So let's work together, and let's unite to do just that.
Thank you very much. And tonight, our Transportation Forum of panelists, Mr. Garth Woodruff, the President of the National Bus Association, Roger Telesford, the Public Relations Officer of the Grandans Bus Association, and Mr. Larry Braffett. He's an advisor to the association. To all of you who called, made your contributions via social media, we want to say thank you so much. Those of you who've been following us on K105 and all of our social media platforms. I'm Odette Campbell. We'll see you again next week.